of the gate process. But even that, if we do the sums, they will still not add up. That is why I quickly look at sponsorship. And if you've done business, you realize every company has got a social responsibility, a corporate social responsibility, and that's the angle that I'm coming from, to approach companies to see how they can come to help the club. But of course, I'm offering, my team and my board, we are offering the kind of leadership that these companies seem to have confidence in. Not that we're getting money that we're going to use personally for ourselves, but really for the development of the game. And I think that is where the success is coming from. I believe the companies can help us. That's corporate sponsorship. It depends on how you put across. I cannot give a secret so that our competitors will also go to the field and maybe go to the areas I'm going to go. But my strategy is to get about 6 corporate sponsorships. We're now with Tigo. We are likely to move away from them very soon to another headline sponsor. No, I'm not going to do that. That is not for you. But obviously we're going to move, because I'm not too happy with the way that is being organized, and I've made that quite clear to Tigo. And very soon the public will be aware. We have Smart TV. Thanks very much to your company, and I think I managed to convince you to have a Kotoko TV, which should be able to give you some kind of customers, more customers, because the fans are passionate about Kotoko, and once they have that channel on your network, obviously they're going to buy your decoders. So it's a win-win situation for the sponsors. It depends on how they look at our brand. I think Kotoko is a very strong brand. No matter the way you see our position on the league, it is a very, very strong brand. And I intend leveraging on the brand so that we can bring in more money. Interplast, we are very grateful to them. They've been very kind. They've sponsored Kotoko before. This is not the first time. And I had to build on history and approach them, and they've come. And I think we're going to put a few more companies. Of course, not another TV company, maybe in the consumables, maybe in the motor sector, in the financial services sector. They're all showing some keen interest. I won't hit the appetite supporters, but I think the next few months we should be able to put about 2 more sponsors, no matter how small. Every little money counts, and I think that is what we've set out to do. That should be able to augment the Glow sponsorship, the media rights sponsorship, and then sponsorship we're getting from the existing companies and the gate process for me to be able to balance our budget. I'll take this opportunity to thank Tullow Oil. When I approached Tullow Oil for support, somebody said, "You are crazy. What do they have to do in football?" But I had a different angle, and they bought into it. And maybe they'll buy into it bigger as we move forward. So that is the way we are doing it. But I believe we can have about 6 companies on board, bring the money in. Let me assure all the sponsors that your monies are being used properly, not for our personal gains, but for the promotion of the game.
Doctor, just before we went for the break, we're looking at the programs that you intend to implement to take the club to the next level. If you could just finish up with that one, and then we move into other areas.
Yeah. Well, I did mention the kind of things we've done in the short term, the immediate term, putting the office right, getting the right kind of players, though the recruitment wasn't properly done, changing the technical bench. Moving forward, in the second window, the December window of the Football Association, the transfer window, we are going to do a few more signings to strengthen the team. As you learned last week, or is it this week, we put a number of players on transfer. Not that they are not good, but they are surplus to our requirements. The new coach believes that the numbers we have are too high, and therefore we have to reduce number. We have done that. We are going to take a few more off, and we are helping them find clubs to make even the league more competitive. Then at the same time, we'll do a few more signings to strengthen the current squad. That should help us perform better during the second round of the league. We are poised to doing that very soon. But in terms of infrastructure, what I come to realize is that as we speak now, Kotoko, 75 years, have nothing to show. My predecessors have put some training pitch together. A training pitch, two fields, which is very commendable. I take the opportunity to thank them for their foresight. I'll build up from there, develop the necessary ancillary infrastructure in terms of dressing room and changing rooms and whatnot, so that at least its usage will be a bit more comfortable, and also ensure that it's maintained in the right manner for us to make effective use of the pitches. Talking about a stadium immediately, I don't think, looking at the economics, I don't think it's sensible to do that. I'm not too sure. Maybe during my tenure is something which can be looked at. But I think a project which is very dear to my heart will be players' accommodation. We should have had players' hostels by now, because we spend a lot of money renting places for our playing body. Maybe abroad is easy, but back home is not very easy. I think the trend in the country is that the clubs provide accommodation for the players. In the first place, maybe Kotoko being one of the best paid club for the players, it's still nothing to write home about. I think I'm looking at a situation where it's possible for us to pay our very good players very well, to retain them in the league and make them more competitive. I look at some of the transfers that we make. For example, if a player goes out and earns $3,000 a month, he may end up netting maybe just $1,000 after paying rent, paying this or that, and then meeting the expenses of the social life abroad. They have nothing to show. I believe in the long run, I'm looking at a situation where Kotoko will be able to retain players like Bequin, who left. Pay him well and let him play in the league and make it more competitive. But that will depend on how much we gross in terms of gate proceeds, how much sponsorship money comes in. I'm going to look at a project. If I have a player who is very, very good and is likely to go abroad, I may look for a corporate sponsorship to pay that player. For example, if I have to pay that player $2,000 for the player to stay at home, can I get a company which will be happy to sponsor the salary of the player for, say, the next 2 years? And that is how these things are marketed. And I'm looking at that one, and I'm making approaches to various companies and institutions to see how this can be done. But it is my hope by the time I leave office, Kotoko as a club will have, if not fully completed, some initiation in terms of development of players' hostel. It's something which is very dear to us. 2-bedroom flats, get them developed, and then put the players there. It shouldn't be difficult. And also even provide accommodation for the technical team. They may live in the same area, a cluster of houses. That will even help monitor the behavior of these players. See those who go in and out, come in very late. They've taken to alcohol, drinking, and the other things that maybe I cannot mention on television.
Let's look at issues of football management here in Ghana. It looks like if you look at all the policies that are drawn by the Ghana Football Association and bodies running they seem to draw or formulate these policies more or less to suit them. So that if you're looking at, let's say, issues of the rights, for instance, as we speak, Qatar cannot use even delayed matches on their Kotoko TV platform. Do you intend to do something about this?
We will be examining that. It's all about dialogue. You see, let me also state, Kotoko is not operating in a vacuum. Kotoko is working with a number of clubs to do the league. The Premier League, the First Division, they are all part of the association. And we also need to, not to be selfish, we need to do things which will help the other clubs also come up a bit. But we should have a situation where if we have money to sign a sponsorship like we've done with you, we'll be able to dialogue with the FA to see whether we'll be giving certain concessions within the framework of things that have been developed. Some of these agreements are already in place, so it's difficult to get any leeway. But maybe in future, when we are developing new set of agreements, we'll be in a position to see whether we can influence the trend.
At the end of your tenure as executive board chairman of the club, what kind of legacy would you want to leave behind? Would you be looking at infrastructure, or would you be looking more at the playing body and performance?
Look, gentlemen, both are important. I have stated that presently we're looking at rebuilding of the club. The question is how long? But from the psyche of the supporters, you cannot rebuild forever. You need to have a cut-off point. So definitely within the 3 years, we should be performing very well on the field, maybe after a year. At the same time, we should be looking at these infrastructures, kind of projects which add up to the strength of the club. So both are targeted. What kind of level we'll achieve will depend on the kind of balance we strike between the two. But I'm looking at both over the period that I'm going to be there. I hope just 3 years, because it's quite a stressful job. But I do believe that I will be able to lay the foundation so that whoever succeeds me will build on that. And then we'll have a team which is performing very well on the field with the right infrastructure, which will also motivate the players and technical people and feed into the performance. That's why I say you cannot divorce one from the other. But within the 3 years, we must be seeing all these things in place. I must hint that the infrastructure thing has started and it's going to continue. We are motivating the players. Perhaps we are the only club in the country which provides breakfast, some kind of feeding for our players. Some supporters are agitating that they are not performing well. I should cancel that. But I disagree with them. I disagree totally with them. It's a chicken and egg kind of situation. Let them be motivated. Let us deal with the other problems that we have identified. Let us do the necessary kind of injection of additional players to strengthen the team, and we may be able to get the kind of results that we expect. I take this opportunity to tell our supporters to be very patient. I know that they cannot be patient forever, but they should bear with us, see how the season goes, and from there we'll be able to see what kind of direction we'll be pushing the club. I use the medium to appeal to them to come and watch matches. In the 90s, when the club had problems, they were watching matches. That's my colleague Herbert when he was there. They were still watching matches. We're trying to bring that kind of flamboyance. But if they don't watch the matches, how are we going to get the money to run the club? Appeal to them. Come in, cheer your players up. Not because they've been losing, you come and boo at them. It's not the right thing to do. Let us be positive. My slogan is support to win, and not win to support. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you, Doctor.
My pleasure as well, young man.